Alright guys, I'm going to very quickly show you how to roll a coil. So step one, after you've wedged your clay, go ahead and kind of use your table to paddle your clay into a kind of like a rectangle shape. I'm not sure what form a rectangle takes. An elongated cube. Anyway, so I have my little rectangle, three-dimensional rectangle, whatever you call that. And then now I'm going to take it and I'm going to twist it. And now I roll it. And personally, I just roll with my palm. I do know there are people who roll with their whole hand, but I use my palm. And this is actually going really well. You can see how even it is. But let's say I start hearing it go thunk, 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 thunk. It's not really rolling because it's skinny on one side and fat on the other. I need to stop what I'm doing because it's not going to get any better. And yes, you want perfectly round coils. You want a really long cylinder. I'm going to square it off, twist it again to get it round again so that it's not an even. And it takes a while to learn how to roll perfectly round coils, but if you just stop and do those steps, it'll really help. And make sure you're giving yourself enough room to roll. I mean, I use about 6 to 8 inches, maybe a little more. And I usually don't get them very long, but that does help, especially if you're making something like a coil pot. But maybe you're trying to make arms or legs for a sculpture. Something short might work out for you. And that's what I'm going to do. So now this is totally fine. I can cut it how I need it to be. If it's getting too dry, one thing you can do, because usually if you take your sponge and sponge the whole coil, the surface gets a little bit too wet to really work with and do much with. So you can throw the water like on the table and roll it that way, and that adds usually just enough moisture back into your clay for what you need. Alright, so that's how you roll a coil.